Hi there guys, welcome to Box Bread. I'm just here with some quick post-fight thoughts on Amir Khan's decision victory over Julio Diaz last night. So what do I think from this fight? First of all, the positive about it was I liked the way that Amir Khan recovered when he was put down, when he was hurt. I think that's something that obviously moving to Virgil Hunter, he's had instilled in him this slight tweaking of his game to ride out a storm a bit more effectively than he did before, because I have the feeling that the Khan before Virgil Hunter would have just flown right back in there against Diaz and probably got put down again and possibly stopped. You know, I could be talking this morning about the Julio Diaz KO victory. So that was a good thing. I like the patience he showed. He didn't fly back in there. Also, again, he showed sometimes when he gets hit, when Diaz was hitting him, particularly the first half of the fight, you know, when the heat wasn't so built up, Khan showed some good patience. He didn't fly back in. He didn't have that macho, you know, eye for an eye type mentality, which puts him in trouble. Later, as the fight got on and he got hurt, and then the macho-ness started to come out a bit more. He started to trade a bit more. He started playing more to Julio Diaz's game plan. And as I thought in my pre-fight thoughts, when I said that Diaz should probably be play the patient game and wait for his opportunities to counter, that's exactly what he was doing from the off. I think he knew he couldn't live with Khan's hand speed, and he didn't really want to particularly trade with Khan. Why would you, when you've got the chance to just sit back, take an opportunity, wait for Khan to make a mistake, and then you can sweep in like Danny Garcia did? So it worked for Julio Diaz. The only problem was, and Diaz showed a lot of class in his post-fight interview, he said that it's not very often you see a boxer be realistic, but I thought it showed a lot of class and a lot of smarts from Diaz when he was asked, did he feel he did enough to win the fight? He actually said, no, I think I gave away too many rounds, actually trying to break this guy down, and he did mention that he thought that Khan would lose the plot as the fight went on, and that the opportunity would come and he'd be able to stop Khan. So that was his game plan, obviously. And it was good to hear a boxer, speak honestly and not delusional. You know, he actually said it like it was. He did give away too many of the early rounds. It's just unfortunate. Diaz fought a really good fight. His game plan just didn't quite pull off. It nearly did, but it didn't quite come to fruition. I thought on the positive side, Amir Khan did very well to ride out the fight. He proved that he gets hurt, but he did prove something, that he has changed a little bit in his recovery process that he was able to establish. But then the problem obviously lies in the fact that he's in that situation in the first place. He gets himself into that situation in the first place. He takes too many shots still makes mistakes, still stays in the pocket a bit too long. Still probably loses a little bit of concentration when it's needed, and you have to be concerned if a guy like Diaz hurts him. I thought Molina in the last fight had a couple of moments in there. Then you have to worry about Khan's future moving forward. There are quite a few guys on Twitter mentioning, he should seriously consider his future in the sport, and they were exactly my thoughts as this fight went on. I don't want to stop a guy from earning his money and establishing his career, but you really have to think now, logically, where does he go from here? Any of the top guys in the division, anyone below that level, you're going to be wondering, will Khan get KO'd in this fight? Will he get hurt in this fight? I don't think a Garcia rematch is a good idea at all, because he wobbled Sam Judah last night as well, and that's the type of thing he would do to Khan, I feel, again. He would wobble him at least once in the fight, surely. Garcia's power is too dangerous. I look at Lamont Peterson as being a possible opponent. I think he would be one of the better options, because I'm still not sold on Peterson. Being on that whole drugs thing, a lot of the traits he was showing in the fights he won, he was getting knocked down and get back up and fight back, and come from being nothing and being the completely outclassed fighter to being this guy who's hunting the other guy down. He's looking strong later on in the fight. These are all traits you get when you're using drugs. If Peterson's gone clean now, which we're assuming he has, then is he going to be the same fighter? I think we're going to get our answer maybe given to us when he fights Lucas Matisse pretty soon. Then you've got Matisse. If he beats Peterson, he'll be an option maybe, but he's his power's way too. I would stay well away from Matisse. Not only has he got power, but he knows how to execute it. Matisse is a good boxer, so I would say that's a definite no. And then you've got the possibility of perhaps Devin Alexander. Perhaps he would want to go down that avenue. Alexander again has a little bit of power there. He's pretty quick, and that would be another. Every fight is dangerous for Khan, but that would be another. That would probably be my set, along with Peterson, my other probably the better options for Khan. They're probably the more slicker fighters. The less guys who rely less on power and more about outboxing you. So I personally wouldn't pursue Garcia again if I were Khan. So that's my take on the fight. That's what I thought. I don't think Khan should be fighting for a world title later this year. Still don't think he's ready, and I'm not sure he ever will be ready. That's the thing. When you've got a guy with the punch resistance Khan has, he gets rocked all the time. He's never gonna be fully ready. The only question is, does he have another cup fight or two against maybe a bit safer opposition to keep testing himself and keep working on his recovery instincts and perhaps work a little bit more on tightening up his game. I'm not sure he'll do any good. Maybe he should just jump into a title fight later this year and just give it a go. Maybe his time's not on his side. Well, I guess time is on his side because he's young, but maybe he just thinks, maybe people his team may be thinking, well, is there any point waiting? He could never get there if he fights. He almost got stopped last night, so he may fight other guys he thinks are safe, and he may never get back to a world title. So they might be trying to chuck him in another world title fight just to give him the opportunity to be another world champion again, before he gets becomes sort of this run-of-the-mill guy who keeps getting beaten, kind of like a Zab Judah, I guess, falling at the final hurdle or falling before he gets there. So that's my take on the fight. I'm going to leave it there. It's getting a bit long. That's my thoughts on Amir Khan. I'm not sure where he goes from here pushing forward. I'd like to see him have at least one more fight before a world title fight, just to put a little bit more work in, spend a bit longer with his with Virgil Hunter. But let's see what happens. Pretty good fight as it turned out. Thanks for watching. This is Boxpred, and I'm out.